Hey guys, so today I'm just going to be making a quick video on my personal overclock on my Ryzen 5 1600, and I'm also going to show you guys how to overclock basically any CPU that's relatively new. And I overclock with the stock cooler, so you don't need anything fancy to get the results that I did. So as you can see right here, I have my system up and running with the Ryzen 5 1600 in it. And right here I'm in the BIOS, and you can see I have the B450 Pro 4 motherboard and a AMD Ryzen 5 1600 6-core processor. So every BIOS is going to be different, but you are not going to be able to do this on any like OEM motherboards or anything like that. You're going to have something relatively custom for this. So on mine, to do overclocking, you have to go to overclock tweaker right there, and as you can see, it says CPU frequency and voltage change, and it's set to auto. So right now I have no control over what speed and voltage my CPU is. So I'm gonna change this from auto to manual. And now it's gonna see it's at stock speed and voltage. Right now it's at 3200 megahertz and 1.23750 volts. So what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna change the voltage to something around what it is. I'm gonna go 1.36 and then hit enter, and it'll do the rest of the numbers for you. And then right here, frequency. So what you're gonna do is maybe you can just do some research and see what speeds other people are hitting with this with your processor. So I looked, and people have been able to get this processor to 4.1 gigahertz, and I said, okay, I will try 4 gigahertz, and 4 gigahertz worked for me. So I tried to push it a little higher. I went to 4.1, and then the system froze up in Cinebench. So then I clocked it down to 4.05 megahertz or gigahertz, and it worked. So that's what I'm gonna do. So basically just try and do something a little lower than what other people have tried, and increase it 50 or so megahertz from there to try and get more and more overclock out of your CPU. But make sure you're keeping an eye on your thermals, because I have the stock cooler, and AMD stock coolers are pretty good. But if you have like an Intel stock cooler, they're not very good, and you might have problems with thermals, and you don't want your CPU to be too hot. So I'm going to hit enter, and I'm going to go over to boot or exit, and then I'm going to hit save changes and exit, and then save. So now my system is going to restart and reboot, and then I will show you guys how it performs in Cinebench R15. So as you can see right there, those are my previous scores. I've hit as high as 1350. My most recent one is 1334, and then these are some of my lower ones at 3.9 gigahertz. So I'm going to do a test and just run it so you guys are able to see it. And as you can see, it's pretty fast. Compared to stock speeds, this is much better. After this is over with, I'll show you guys how stock speeds are compared to this. Okay, so I actually ran a little bit lower of a score that time for some reason. There we go. It got 1282, as you can see right there. Before I've gotten as high as 1334 on this speed. So each test is gonna vary a little bit, but right there is the stock speed for the Ryzen 5 1600. Here, let me zoom out a little bit. So right there is the stock speed. So I got 1071, and the highest I've gotten at this speed is 1334. So this can definitely make a difference in your system's performance overall, but mostly in your CPU, obviously. So yeah.